guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos with the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that little notification bell so that anytime I do load a new video, you will be notified. And if you could also like, comment, and share this video, that would be amazing. So I am going to be setting up my cash envelopes for both the month as well as the first week of May, and I'll show you what I mean by that. These are the cash envelopes that I have. I hate doing air quotes, so I'm not going to do them. They are clearly just dividers, but in the wallet that I have, cash envelopes would not fit. But I call them that because cash dividers just seems strange. Plus, more people are aware of the cash envelope system, and this is exactly the same. It's just the delivery system is quite different. I did set up my May calendar already. Now, I don't typically do this like most people you'll see here on YouTube because they'll list out everything that's due on whatever particular day it's due. The way that I do my budget system is on the first paycheck that I get, which is always the 5th of the month. I will pay all of my credit card minimums as well as my student loan, and there is one or two iTunes or Apple Store things that come out. And then on the 20th, I pay my housing and iTunes, and then that is actually the bulk of the money that I have for the next month. So I don't list any of the credit cards here because I pay them all there. And then what I did this month, on top of just marking when the paydays are, I did put some things that might hit some of my line items, whether it's my cash envelope or my sinking funds or just things I need to be aware of because it might cost me something. So for instance, I have a doctor's appointment on the 3rd and the 9th, so I'll have to do co-payments for there. I believe I need to fill a prescription and pick it up on the 3rd, so that's another payment. Luckily, when I'm on bed rest and vacation day, and I am off half of this day, I probably won't be spending any money. Mother's Day will definitely, there'll be some expense there. And then Memorial Day, I probably won't be spending any money. So that'll be definitely be a good day for a no spend. Maybe, because, you know, online never closes. And I just wanted to do a brief flip through before I get into the cash envelopes, because I've actually spent quite a bit of time today setting up May because I didn't want to do that on camera. If that's something you're interested in for June, let me know. But I wanted to put the body of it down because I needed to think about process. So for the May budget, I'm actually going to split it out by paycheck 1 and paycheck 2. I've sort of done that in the past, but what I'm realizing is it's really hard for me to reconcile at the end of the month. That will be a separate video for my April budget review, but because of that, that's why I wanted to separate it out with the expenses and then the line items here. I've done this in the past, although I still need to film that video for April, but I've already set up my May 2019 sinking funds. Again, just the body of it. I haven't plugged in numbers, and I'll probably do that corresponding to the April review of my sinking funds. This is what we're going to be working on today, which is the cash envelope, setting that up. And then this monthly transaction we do every week once we do stuff cash envelopes. And then I've already set up my May budget review because, again, the way that I'm envisioning this is I will be zeroing this out, paycheck 1, paycheck 2, as close as I can to those dates, it helps if it falls like on a Friday or Saturday, just because that gives me Saturday and or Sunday to actually look at my numbers. But I'll try to do it as close to that date. But then this budget review will take into account those 2 paychecks, closing out anything that I might be getting from Etsy online. It'll be closing out savings, because this is the only place that I'm tracking it. And hopefully, if I break it up into pieces like that, it's a lot easier for me to reconcile versus trying to reconcile at the end of the month. Because when I go through that video for April, it was quite the struggle. But like I said, we are going to work on cash envelopes today. So I'll take these out and now there are 5 weeks in May. Now for some people that's an amazing thing, because if you get paid every other Friday, that means in May you could potentially get an extra paycheck. I only get paid twice a month. Doesn't matter how many weeks there are. So that's not so amazing, because I'm still putting $200 for the entire month for my cash envelopes. Now last month, because there were 4 weeks, that meant that was $50 per week. This month it means there's $40 per week, and I didn't actually have a lot of excess, so I'm really going to need to be mindful of my spending. Now it is the 28th. I think it's Sunday the 28th. Game of Thrones is on in half an hour, so this is not going to be a long video, but I've already gotten the $200 out of the bank. So the reason why I said we're going to be funding our envelopes, as I've mentioned in previous months, this is my cash envelope system. So when I went to the bank, took out the $200, I will put it in here, and then together we will actually stuff these weeks here, just so that I have it in one centralized place. Because if I keep it in the bank, the fear is that I might spend it. If it's here at home and not in my wallet or not accessible via my debit card, then, you know, it's just, I can't spend it because I don't have access to it. So that's what I did. I put it in here, and then for every week, we're going to have $40. And I didn't think about getting 5s, because then I could have done this a little bit differently, but we've got 5 weeks, so in each week there's going to be $10 towards toiletries, there's going to be $10 towards the office fund, and there's going to be $20 towards spending. Now, if I had gotten some 5s, I could have put less towards office and more towards spending, but it's interesting because I just watched a film from Erin from Oh My Goals, and I will link her channel below, and she was asking if you have 3 categories like I do, or 5 or 12, and that category fund runs out, but you still need stuff, do you wait until the following week, or do you just take money from a different category? Now for me, I try, and not very hard, but I try to keep my categories distinct. So if I run out of money for office things, then I need to wait till the next week. But I have, and you've seen if you've watched any of my transaction videos, if I need to, I will pull monies from a different category. For me, really, it helps me focus and drum it down to items that I want to track, and it's actually more helpful for the transactions. But ultimately, I have $40 a week to spend. And And if I need to dip in to another category, I think that's better than dipping into a credit card. So that's how I look at it. Now I know LaShawn from LaShawn's Lifestyle, I believe it's LaShawn's Lifestyle, she has separate categories. She doesn't track it because basically once it's spent, it's spent, it's gone. She doesn't track where it goes, but she's really good at detailing what her different categories are. Mine are quite broad, and I actually had more categories before, and I kind of like this. I like that it's a little bit focused, but it's still broad enough that I don't have to say, well, eating out or breakfast or lunch or groceries, or, I mean, I've got $40 a week to spend. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. So for week 1, I'm sticking to, and for May, I will be sticking to these categories. If I need to switch them out or rename them, then I'll do that for June, if that's even a thing that I want to do. But again, we're putting $20 towards spending, we're putting $10 towards the office, and $10 towards toiletries. And I will be doing a video if I can get it in time, because again, I've been waiting all week for Game of Thrones. It's a big battle with the Winter King, so yeah. But the reason why I wanted to do a separate video regarding not specifically toiletries, but cash envelopes and sinking funds, is because I've created something that'll help me track that. So $50 a month might be more than I need for toiletries, and so I might either funnel it towards one of these categories or actually be able to put it towards savings. But that is something that I wanted to talk about. And I always get this wrong, because I am not carrying over anything from April. Not that I had much to carry over. And so I am truly starting out with 0. I'm adding in this money here. And then next weekend I will subtract to show how much I've spent and what is left over. And just like I did for April, if I do move it into savings, or the little thing that I keep savings in, then I will denote it with a little asterisk here, just so I can keep track of that that pool of money. Last month I did 2 things. I purposely moved some into savings, but for toiletries, because I wasn't sure how much I'd need, there were 2 weeks I actually just carried it forward to the next week. And then because I had a lot of space down here, I wanted to give myself some goals. I know Tara does that. I believe quite a few ladies do this, but I know specifically Tara does it. That's the one that I was inspired by. So for May, my 2 goals are to have 10 no-spend days in May, and to really strive for that to be 10 working days, because it's actually kind of easy for me to not spend on the weekends. And then to have 3 meals a week that's either from home or from my stash at work, because I have a bunch of already prepared or some frozen foods or ramen at work, and so hopefully that will help cut down my costs for food. And then I just took this little sticker, I believe it's from the productivity sticker book for Happy Planner, and then I would just put the dates here to track the 10 no-spend days. Now if some of these include Sundays or Saturdays, I mean, so long as I can get the 10, I'd prefer a weekday, just because those are the days I struggle the most with not spending. But I mean, 10 is 10. I'll take my small wins as I can. And then the last thing, because again, we don't have any transaction, is to put these where they belong, and then put this in my wallet. So we've got this set up for the month of May, And every week, like I've been doing, I will go into the little category per week, and the money is sitting there for me, which is good. And then as needed, if I do have excess for the end of the week, and I'm not rolling it over, then I will put that in a different envelope in there for savings. All right, guys, so this is my first week of May cash envelope stuffing. Again, it seems more sexy to say cash envelope stuffing than cash envelope placing. Yeah, I really want a new wallet just so I can use cash envelopes and stuff them, because I think that's super sexy. And with my sinking funds, it's all on a debit card, so I can't even do it with that one. But it is a bit silly to want to buy a new envelope or buy a new wallet just so that you can play at cash stuffing like you see your friends do on YouTube. All right, guys, so this is for me for this video. Again, I'm going to try to get one more video filmed today before Game of Thrones. If you might have noticed, I am really into Game of Thrones, and it's just more so because it's the final season. I seem to have been waiting forever. I mean, not just me, everyone. And yeah, so I'm super excited for that. And as always, aloha.